Calling from a 928 area code. Who's this? Where are you calling from?
What's good, Sam? It's your man NJPW, man. What's going on, Sam? Mike, how you living, man?
How are you?
You know what? I'm really good, but I just had a couple things.
Yep.
Michael. I made that joke that caught on with you actually because you changed your Twitter profile.
That's right.
The Yakubian left.
The Yakubian left. I love it. I'm all over it.
Yakubian left. But you know what? I'm gonna keep it real with you, man. Like that's what's going on with Jimmy Dore trying to ally with Mike Cernovich and things like that. And the way he frames this idea that Trump. Well, not Hillary, not you, Hillary. To me, honest man, that's some Yakubian left shit, man.
Yeah, it is.
It really is, and not even I'm not joking or being tongue in cheek, man. That is a Yakubian left type deal.
I agree.
I agree.
And tell us. No, hold on for 1 second. Just define for me Yakubian.
It's your true nature, Sam.
No, I know it's my true nature. There's no doubt.
He was saying no.
But wait, I'm asking the caller to define Yakubian left.
Yakubian left is honestly because what happens is I hear Michael Brooks. He does all these great impersonations of black leaders and the Nation of Islam types. And for those that don't know that y'all white folks were created in a lab by the scientist Yakub, et cetera, et cetera. Like it's all ridiculous. But I use it. I've said it recently just as a joke. But like I said, looking at what Jimmy Dore did, I'm like, you know what? Nah, these are some individuals who I feel hide behind certain leftist ideals, but in reality, they do have some of that pro-whiteness in their blood. That's just how I feel.
All right. Now, I will say this. I think calling it a lab is a little over the top. There was a couple of beakers. There was a couple of beakers, but I would not say it was a lab.
I gotta say,
it makes it much more formal, I think, than it was.
I gotta correct, I was actually in a cave specifically. Jakob was a giant-headed mad scientist.
Michael,
were there pigs
involved?
My
first call, Michael, I said there were some complaints about the Wi-Fi in the Yakubian caves, man, and you guys haven't done anything to help get that sorted out.
Yeah, you could hear that with our libertarian callers. They haven't even left the caves.
Obama wanted to put extra money in the stimulus for that,
right.
And we
look. I'm president of everybody's devils, Asiatic black man, everyone.
All right, go ahead. What else you got?
Just the second thing I just wanted to talk about. If you guys the chat definitely wanted to hear it, but I actually after my relationship ended, I actually roomed with two full-on Trump supporters living in San Jose, California, that I lived with briefly, and I didn't want to know if y'all wanted to hear some of my thoughts and observations.
I would love to hear how that worked out.
Sure. Okay, so basically, it's like this, man. Like, I am a veteran. A veteran of Operation Enduring Freedom. I was with the United States Air Force Security Forces. I served 5.5 years. Thank God it was only that, because I ain't gonna lie, I did not want to go to Iraq. It was looking bad out there, so I got out when I could get out. After going to Afghanistan, etc. So that's just my perspective. In terms of when I talk about war and this and that. And the thing is that living with them, one of them was a white guy who was quarter Mexican. The other one, to be honest, is one of my childhood friends. He's Mexicano. I'm a black Latino from South America, so my dad's American, so I don't have a cool immigrant story, whatever. But nonetheless, basically the observations is, I guess if I can make it as quick as I can, is this: with the one guy, I call him Chef. He wasn't racist, He was not racist. He was actually on the Alex Jones tip, man. And what he would do is he'd be on YouTube watching these conspiracy theories and just parroting Alex Jones word for word. And, that's when I saw, Alex Jones has a real influence on this guy.
Yep.
and his callers. And as much as, I'm going to be honest, if you've been on the internet, you've known since 03, 04, 05, Alex Jones full of shit.
Yep.
But and I was noticing that he's legitimized now. And this guy who, to be honest, I don't mean to hate, but, I have a degree, low education, and no desire to know the facts, but something that explains why he is in the position that he is in his life.
Yes,
that's it.
You know, and I don't mean to be a hater.
No, but
I don't mean to be a hater. But
I think
it's charitable.
I've said many times that if Alex Jones didn't exist, the CIA would invent him, or the wealthy would invent him, because rather than actually looking at all the reasons why people are dispossessed in many respects that are right in front of their faces, that are out in the open. Alex Jones gives a secret truth that explains everything. It's the Bilderbergs, it's the globalists, it's it does in many respects. It's not unlike I had mentioned the other day, like the appeal of a fundamental religion. Yeah. There are certain things, like, you don't have to think about this. Here's the answer. It's very simple. They're in charge of everything, and they control it all, and the globalists want to do this, and that's it. Bingo, bango, I've got it wrapped up for you. Now we're just going to cut to a vitamin commercial, and that's it. and exactly. That is and so it has an appeal, and it's digestible. It's pre-digested. It's done in like cartoon form, essentially, so that you can understand. Like it's just why are they evil? Why are they doing this? Because they're the evil guys. That's it. Bottom line.
Yeah.
End of story.
And then the second person I lived with was a childhood friend, man. He's Mexican himself, but he's Mexican only in the sense of that's sort of like what he checks off. He sees himself more as a Native American. This guy is pretty well cultured in terms of, I'm a native, I don't subscribe to any colonial bullshit. I don't speak Spanish. So what? Spanish is still a European language for some of my people, etc. He's not dumb, he's not dumb. But there was this idea, and then I've seen this among certain quiet Trump Mexican supporters here in California. There's this idea that there's this divide that Mexicans from Mexico and Mexicans from the United States, like, oh, you're not Mexican enough if you do this and that and the other. And sometimes there's some, within that community, like I said, I'm from Brazil. So, I can't, say someone's right or wrong. But sometimes within an immigrant community and then within a community that's native to it, there's this idea of, well, you're not this enough, not that enough. And I can relate to some extent, like, oh, you're not black enough,
Right.
But at the same time, there does, I saw this when I was living in Arizona on the border, you get some Mexican Trump supporters because some of it I felt was, well, they're here, I'm living okay. Why should you have what I got, And another part of it is, especially since the guy I've known since childhood, like I said, these dudes aren't racist. Not in a sense of, I think you're better than me, but definitely racial in terms of, well, these people, why are they complaining? With both of them, it was, Black Lives Matter. Like there was this idea that, oh, there wasn't this type of racism before. They all brought it to the forefront and this and that. It's like just voicing what the obvious is means that it's black folks' problem that, we're experiencing this and, trying to make change with it. Or the last thing I'll say is the day that the youngster was killed during the protests,
Yep.
The first reaction that the white guy had was, good. Kill these motherfucking protesters, man. I said, what? Like, I couldn't believe it. And all these thoughts were really kept only in-house because, man, this is the Bay Area, man. We don't play that shit out here, But how his true feelings was that if you protest, somehow you're either doing something wrong or these people who block the freeways, etc. The very expressions that brought us equality, that brought us a voice, that brought us civil rights, that brought us individuals like Cesar Chavez, all of a sudden are negative now. And that type of cultural shift that the right has been very successful in pushing that narrative on individuals who it would actually benefit, it actually is kind of painful to watch.
Yeah.
And look, I'm gonna just keep it real. I'm glad the majority of black people don't go for that shit. We don't. And like I can honestly say that there'd be a few that do, but most of us don't. And I am thankful that we don't fall into that trap.
It would be a real problem.
Well, that would be a disaster
for
if black
country.
People voted as dumbly as other people. Whoa, then we would be done.
Yeah, honestly.
Can I just say something to the caller though, real quick?
Yes, please, Mr. President.
All right, 6 p.m. tonight on TMBS, the cartoon debut, first Michael Brooks Show cartoon. Not saying who the cartoon is of, but 6 p.m. Check it out. Good points, brother. But number 3, you don't sound black enough.
All right, well.
You know what? Let me put it to you like this. Hold on. Before I end my call, the same way every time I enter the chat, I always say this: the black man is God. And at the end of the day, Sam Seed is a 10%er, man. I'll holler at y'all.
Allahu Akbar.
Appreciate the call.